Hey everybody, my name is Scott, and today we're going to solve the nth digit problem on LeetCode. The problem definition is find the nth digit of the infinite integer sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So here's the input examples we have. 3 comes to 3, right? That makes sense. First digit, second digit, third digit. What's kind of interesting is 11. So first digit, second digit, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. 10th digit is not 10. The 10th digit is the one of the 10. And then the 11th digit is the 0 of the 10. So you actually output 0. So I thought about this problem for a while and had a difficult time sorting out what the pattern was here. Then I shared the problem with a beautiful, big-brained biophysicist, and she was able to sleuth out the math behind this pretty quickly. So credit where it's due. Basically, what you need to sort out is how many digits you go past to get to the start of a range of digits of the same length. Because once we know the length of the number that contains the nth digit, and we're in the start of that range, then the length of the digit becomes a constant, and we can calculate it pretty simply from there. So we're going to keep track of a couple things. Let me reset the code to get rid of any spoilers here. Okay. So what do we need to keep track of? We're going to set up a long. We're going to call it digits. And we're going to initialize that to 9. And digits basically is going to keep track of how many digits we have gone past as we're going through these ranges. So initially there are 9 digits of length 1. We've passed by 9 digits by going through the range of numbers of length 1. We're going to keep track of the length of the range that we're in. We're going to initialize that to 1. Okay, so we're starting in the length 1 numbers, 1 through 9, starting down at 1. And we're going to keep track of first, which is going to be 1. First is the start of the range that we're in. So we're starting in the range of numbers of length 1, and the first number in that range is 1. And we're going to loop. We're going to say while n is greater than the length times the digits. What this means is that n has to be in the next set of numbers. If n is greater than the length of the digits times the digits that we've seen, then it must be that the nth digit is in the next range of numbers. So for instance, if n is greater than 9 times 1, then that must mean that it's not in the digits of length 1. It has to be in one of the longer length digits. So what are we going to do? We're going to decrement n by length times digits. What is that doing? It's decrementing n by the number of digits in that range. So eventually n will get small enough to where it's less than length times digits, and we're at the beginning of the range of numbers of the length that n is in. Increment the length, because we're going to the next set of numbers. So for instance, we start in the numbers that are of length 1, we increment the length, we're now at numbers of length 2. First gets multiplied up by 10 each time. This makes sense, right? We started at 1, and then if we're going to the digits of length 2, what's the first one? It's 10. And if we go to the digits of length 3, what's the first one? 100. So on and so forth. So we just multiply by 10 each time for first. And then digits, also times equals 10. Now in order to see this bit, you need to do a little bit of the math to see how the sum works out. But what you'll see is that digits is also getting multiplied by 10 each time. The number of digits we're going by increases by a factor of 10 for each group that we go through. And that's it for the loop. When we get out of the loop, we're going to update the first. So when we get out of the loop, first is going to be the beginning number of whatever the length that the nth digit is in. So let's say that the nth digit lies in a 3-digit number, then first would be 100. Okay? First is going to get incremented by n minus 1 over length. And what is this doing? This is taking us from the first number in that range to the number in that range of numbers of that length where the nth digit resides. That's what this is doing. So if we were at 100 and we needed to get to 104, let's say the digit we're after is the 0 in 104, this would get first to 104. So we're at the right number. So if we're at the right number, we just got to get a string and pull the digit out. So we just turn it into a string, nothing hard about that. And then we're going to return the digit value. And that should do it. Should be all there is to it. Assuming I actually spelled the word length correctly in all the places where it pops up. 3 looks good. See if everything else looks good. Accepted. Cool. So these problems, this is a really confusing problem on the face of it. If you're going to try to sort it out, you need to start writing down numbers and look how the numbers are coming out, because there's always a math trick behind it, right? There's always just some sort of a math trick going on behind the scenes that make the programming very easy. Writing the code was easy. Figuring out the math trick going on behind it isn't easy. For me, I couldn't really sort it out. If you get stuck in the same way, I'd advise seeking out a beautiful, big-brain biophysicist of your own and having her help you out with it. So that's it for this one. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you next time.